Okay, back to it. This time, let's go with 1G3, a flexible move. And let's try... Okay, so I was hoping for D4 with like a colors reverse Benko Gambit. But it looks like we're going to get this type of pseudo-Catalan position without D4. So fast. Nice and lined up here. So let's just get the better pawn structure and take a slight edge. Hanging pawns. And how best to continue? Put some pressure here when I could have just taken it. But 94, I don't know. Knight H4, and he can just take it too. Like, am I just losing it? Yeah. Completely losing my mind. I'm hitting both C5 and D5 though. I have the bishop pair. Ridiculous play on my part. Yeah, that's not gonna do. Best move. He wants that H-pawn, so I better make a threat. Protects my H-pawn. Solid and simple. Defend the E-pawn. Okay. In games. You want something. Okay, you wanted that. I'm okay with this. That surprises me some. Because if King H1, you simply must be getting mated since your queen's off sides. So check is a possibility, so we need to play a little bit more accurately here. And looks like that's good enough. Yeah, that is good enough. Okay. So I went with a flexible move. And I mean, this move does have some merits to it. Like for instance, if Knight F6 and you're facing a King's Indian guy, you can go E4, and now this is no longer a King's Indian, but a perk. And that can make, I mean, speaking as a King's Indian player myself, I don't allow this type of position because I feel it's very easy for white to play. And that's just one of those benefits. If you absolutely detest playing against the King's Indian, G3 is a good line to go with. But you, of course, need to know how to play against D5. You could do a King's Indian attack here, or just kind of stay flexible like I did to see what's going on. I played C4, and what I was hoping for was to get to like a colors reverse Benko Gambit. I was just feeling it, so I wanted to test it. But now it's like a transposition I'll get from the English occasionally, and D4 is the main move, but it ends up in this like Tarrasch position where we just traded a set of knights. And I mean, it's fine. You get to play against the isolated pawn. And I'm aware of this position, but I just like keeping the tension because I'm curious how black is going to like try to fix things. And if he just takes and tries, you know, this type of stuff, his position can get bad quite quickly here due to this key move, bishop g5. And we have the initiative, and black hasn't touched his entire queen side. So we're definitely doing well there. And if they don't, we end up in a position where I get to play d4 when I'm ready, and I've prepared it some. And then here, like, I don't know why, I just hallucinated terribly. I can just take on d5. And if knight d4, I actually have queen takes d4, and that would end the game. So yeah, I don't know what I was missing there. Knight h4, and the position just really fell apart. So that was overzealous, it says. Queen d2, and if queen takes h4, queen g5, interesting. The engine definitely likes its tactics, man. But, yeah. Queen a1 seems pretty good, saying to take on e2. Knight b4, definitely better than his attempt. Because you want to open up the white king more, since I've allowed my pawn structure to be crippled on the king side. Knight e5 just really doesn't do it, though, because now I'm able to force this type of continuation. And there's really nothing black can do. I'm going to consolidate one way or another here. Keeping the queen flexible to try to for a perpetual is probably the best option. So when I saw queen a6, I'm like, he either wants to swing over to check me, which is the right idea, or he wants to go pawn hunting, but that's going to put the queen off sides and give me time. So h5. And as soon as I saw that, I'm like, okay, one way or another, this opens it up. Queen e6, it's saying, is a bit more accurate. If king h8, queen f6, okay. And if king f8, if king e7, I guess he's just hanging everything, and all he can do is like just bounce around. Got it. King h1 is also winning. And much better would have been king f8, where queen h8, king e7, rook g7. And, wow, king f6. Yeah, you got to play some accurate moves here. And how do we avoid the perpetual? King f1. If queen b1, king e2, and that's why if queen c2, you block with the rook. So queen b5, you block with the rook anyway. Okay, I see how the checks are going to be stopping now. Makes sense. And in the main game, rook g1, of course, we saw that this is going to end in forced mate. So that'll do it for this one. And I'm not sure how to label this one in regards to opening.